Hey there YouTube, this is Chris from Team Shockwave, and I'm here with you with another deck profile. This time is UAs. A lot of people have been asking for us for the new support. Everything's all here. Last video I said that UAs were going to get basketball players, and you know, they got basketball players. I'm calling it now, hockey players next. Just saying, just think about it. So without further ado, one of my favorite decks, so let's just get to it. Alright, so this is the UA deck. Again, my monster lineup, ever since the support, like your monster lineup can be completely different and you wouldn't lose anything, but this is it. I have the 2 Spell Strikers. I love this card. A lot of people are playing the Halbert version. So it's pretty much a Cyber Dragon, and then when it does damage, it searches for a copy of himself. It's pretty good, except there are times where if your opponent doesn't do anything and you have a monster, you can't special summon Halbert, so you would either have to special summon over the UA or tribute the UA and special summon it. I'd rather have the Spell Striker option. I can Rhoda it, then remove Rhoda, special summon, and then tribute it for another card. Of course, staple, the 3 UA midfielder has the effect of all the UAs, so you can special summon this card from your hand by returning another UA on the board to the hand. You can only special summon this effect once, or it can only be special summoned by this effect once. And then his effect is, during either player's turn, you can bounce another UA to special summon a UA from your hand with a different name. So you can do it, you can attack, then activate the effect, bounce another UA, bring out another UA, and attack again, and then special summon UA off another one. So really good card, level 4, Rhoda searchable. I wish they gave us another, level 4 or less UA monster, but with what they gave us, I can't complain. I love these cards. So that's that. Then let's see. I cut these down, so 2 Sluggers and 2 Ace. There's so much search in the deck now that you only really need ones. Plus Rebounder lets you special summon from the graveyard, so if your opponent does get rid of these, you can just easily bring them out. Activating Ace effects to dump a card is not like scary anymore. Like, you don't lose out on a monster that you might need, because you could always just find out a way to get Rebounder and then activate Rebounder to special summon the card you dumped. So it's really good. So 2/2. Effect is, whenever your opponent activates a card, discard a card, negate the card, and destroy it. It does it on activation effects and cards that are already activated. So if it's something that turns on for no apparent reason, then you could still negate and destroy it. So really strong card. And then Slugger is roughly the Archimedes. So when it declares an attack, your opponent cannot respond to it, or your opponent cannot activate anything until the end of the damage step. So it's really good. You get destroyed monsters, your opponent can't search or can't activate any cards until the end of the damage step. So strong. My boy, UA Rival Rebounder and Dunker. I don't know if you guys seen the last video, but I kind of told you guys that the basketball players were coming out, and again, I'm right. So these guys, I was not expecting them. To be honest, I didn't even know these guys were like previewed or leaked or anything until one of my friends was like, yeah, did you see the new UA support? I was like, stop messing around. But I seen these and I'm not even mad. Like, they're so strong, and they're really, really, really strong. Actually, I don't want to say so strong. They're just super strong. So Rebounder. When it's special summon during your opponent's turn or normal summon, you get to special summon a UA from your hand or graveyard. So you get a 22 monster, you could potentially get a 23 monster, a 25 monster, a level 4 to special summon. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even negate their effect, so it's kind of, I really think this card's broken. So you get a lot of cards, and you get to rush your opponent a lot faster. Really, I don't even know how to explain this card. This card's great. I love this card. That's why I'm playing. It's probably the only card I play a 3 of next to like midfielder. But Rebounder, that's its effect. That's nothing special. Just does that. And then Dunker. So Dunker is pretty much when he attacks a defense wizard monster, he penetrates. and when it deals damage by battle, it targets a card and destroys it. So use normal, special, attack. You can destroy a back row or destroy another monster, and then attack directly if your opponent has an answer. So really strong. And again, this guy, since it doesn't negate their effects, you can bring this from the graveyard or your hand. Bring out these, bring out a level 4 special summon it. Again, like the combos are nuts. So for the new support so far, I'm like thumbs up the Yin Yang. I love this card. These cards, I'm not even gonna say just this. And then the other 3 that I'm running are the 2 goalkeeper and the 1 UA blocker. So I'm only doing this for defense because sometimes you don't necessarily want to attack. You attack during your turn and then you play defensive during your opponent. So that's pretty much it. So you special summon this card once during your opponent's turn. You can target a UA monster. Can't be destroyed by card effects or by battle once. So you special summon it. If you have like an ace, you special summon this ace and then protect ace by not, if they're dark hole and you don't want to negate it, you can protect it by this effect. You lose this card, but you have rebounder, so let's be serious. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, 2 of these because I feel like these guys are a lot better than the specific one. Blockbacker. So once per turn, during your opponent's turn, when he or she, let's not be sexist here, special summons 1 or more monsters, you can switch their battle position and negate their effect. It's not that great, but I mean, if your opponent doesn't read this card or does read this card and thinks there's a better option, brings out like Trishula or a card that is devastating, you can just negate it and switch his battle position. So 27 is a lot of cards that can't get by this, so you just stop them, or not. You stop that specific card. That's why it's a 1-up. It's like really situational. So you just have to know the game or whatever you're up against to actually use him successfully. So that's it for all my monsters. And then I run a shitload of spell cards. So let's see. I'm running the 3 Rhoda. Don't mind the fact that they're all different rarities. I'm using the real ones in the deck. So 3 Rhodas. Search out Spell Striker. Search out Midfielder. Again, cycles through the deck. Searches out for your most needed cards to combo off. Staple. So 3. New card, Signing Deal. I read this card and I thought it was pretty bad, only because there's paying life points, but then I took a second look at the first sentence and it just says special summon a UA from your deck. So you don't necessarily even have to go to one of the big players. You just bring out like a midfielder and take 1,200 life points, which is still a chunk, but I mean, you get a free monster. And even if you're like losing, you bring out a bigger guy and lose like 15 or 18 and still have like a 25 beater or something. It does negate their effects, so it's kind of, it's not broken, but bring it out, special summon a monster. You can bounce that monster to special summon one from your hand. That monster will gain its effect again, or you can bounce the monster you just special summoned for the one you just special summoned from your deck and get its effect. So really, really, really good card. Play it at 3. There's a reason why I play it at 3, but you have to wait till I get to the trap cards. But for now, Signing Deal at 3. 3 Tempest. I'm sorry, the Monarch Stormforth. Wow. So if you haven't noticed, most of these are 1 tribute. Well, the ones that I am playing. So let's see. So 6, 6, 5s, and 5. So the ace, the slugger, the rebounder, and the goalkeeper can all be normal summoned by this card. I played 3 rebounders and 3. Well, you play 3 because it's a really good card. But you play this to normal rebounder. If you have the field card, you search for another UA. His effect activates and you special summon one from your hand or your graveyard. So you get rid of an opponent's card, bring out a card, and then bring out another card. So it's a no-brainer. You gotta play these cards if you wanna make sure the deck does really well. It doesn't target, so again, special little bonus there. Play it at 3. You run the monsters for it, might as well run the cards for it. I haven't built a side deck for this, but my side deck is gonna have like Vanity's Fiend and all the Vanity, well not Vanity's, there's 2 level 5s. Fiend, Majesty's Fiend, there you go. So Majesty's Fiend over Vanity's Fiend, because I'd rather stop my opponents from activating effect than special summon. Well, now anyway. And then 3 stadiums. Whenever you know summon a UA, you search your deck for a UA, add it to your hand. Whenever you special summon a UA, once you special summon a UA, all your monsters gain 500 attack. So it's a permanent stack as long as the field's out, and it makes your bigger guys bigger and your little guys bigger. So really good card. And geez, you played 3. You have to play 3. God, I can't wait to get to the trap cards. That's why these guys are gonna shine. 1 terraforming, just in case the trap card doesn't show up, which is penalty box, but UA Stadium, search it out. You need to hit the stadiums in order to constantly have a hand, constantly have an out, constantly have an answer for your opponent. 3 MSTs, you don't really play a lot of trap cards in this deck, so you want to make sure the board is clear, or like just trouble cards are gone before you go off. So if your opponent flips an emptiness, it kind of stops you from special summoning all the big guys, so you're going to have to attack with like little guys unless you tribute summon. So you need to get rid of specific cards for this, and plus a bottomless always hurts. So 3 MSTs. 2 lands, again, if your opponent activates something, you chain lance, your monster doesn't get destroyed or banished. You bring out Ace in defense mode, you set it, your opponent tries to be cute, play a card that doesn't, that forces you to negate, you can just lance it and only have to worry about your monster. Their monster's getting over it. So really good card. And then my last one, Power Jersey. It was at 3, I cut it to 2, not because it's bad or anything. This deck can search it out now without having to play a Hidden Armory. So having 2 is really good. I might bump it up to 3. I'm still testing this deck. I might take out the terraforming and play this at 3 because penalty box is just so good of a card that you really need to have the house. Plus this makes anything better. So if you can special summon like a goalkeeper, equip 1, make it 2,000 with that can attack twice, or equip 2 and make it 3,000 that can attack twice. Yeah, so 2 of people could play 3. Some people play 1. Those people are weird. So let's see, that's all my spell cards. And then for the trap cards, penalty box. When I read this card, I thought, what is it, Konami stopped supporting, like stopped helping BAs and decided to like work on us or give UA like a bone. They toss us a good card. So activates whenever a UA monster battles an opponent's monster, you get to remove your opponent's monster until the second end phase. So you get rid of a threat. So if it's like an Exceed, you get rid of the Exceed, it loses its materials. Then it comes back during the end phase of your opponent's second standby phase. So pretty much it's going to be a whole turn without him being there, and then it comes back during their end phase, so they won't be able to use it. And then what makes it really broken, when this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it to search your deck for a UA spell card and add it to your hand. So if you don't know what that means you get to grab one of these, one of these, and just, so whatever you need the field card, you search it. You need to special summon, you search it. You need to get over a card, you search it. Really good. I might want to build like some sort of mill version. I might play Reasoning, there you go. I'm thinking of playing Reasoning. Reasoning lets your opponent has to guess a number, which it's a wide number of cards, so it's probably going to guess it wrong. You special summon the monster. If you don't hit the monster, you dump one of these. You can easily just activate it during the same turn. It's not like a breakthrough skill where you have to wait until the next turn. You can just go off. So yeah, you get to activate it during the same turn. And I think that's it for as good as this card is, like it's so good. It's like simple. No stupid combos. It just gets what you need when you need it. That's that. And then one compulse. You want to get rid of like just an opponent's monster in general. Maybe you don't want to deal with a certain card, or your opponent sets a card. You get rid of it. Bottomless because it's bottomless. And then I'm running the one tech of the Mischief of the Gnomes. So if you don't know what this does, when you activate it, all the monsters in both players' hands pretty much loses a star. So it makes all the level 5s in this deck a level 4, so you can normal summon it. It makes all the level 7 a level 6, so you can actually play the Stormforth and bring it out. It also stops your opponents from making specific plays. So if you activate it at the beginning of your opponent's turn, they pretend you're playing against Necros. So now they have to do level, like they have to manage their star counts when it comes to rituals. Or if you're playing Satellarus and they go with Vega, you automatically make like either Altier or whatever they special summon a 3. So they won't be able to go into the Delteros or Trevor or whatever it's called. And then it also has the same effect when it's in the graveyard. So when it's in the graveyard, you remove it and you reduce it again on both players' hands. So do it during your opponent's turn, do it during your turn, and then normal summon. So that's pretty much it for my UA monsters, spells, and traps. I don't have an extra deck. I really feel this deck doesn't need it. I honestly feel like it should just run more cards, but sadly that's not how the game works. You really do not need an extra deck. You have an answer for a lot of the cards. A lot of cards can't stop this deck once it goes off, and a good side deck can always be used. So like, I mean, you could side into specific cards like Decree, take out your traps, play a more mill version, keep the traps. But again, you really don't need the extra deck. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. Like, I can't stop you from playing an extra deck. You might want to you might want options since Rebounder is out. You can special summon another 6 and go into 6 Exceeds, or special summon a 4 and then I guess Bouncer, special summon another 4 and go into a 4 Exceed, which is kind of weird. But again, if you feel like you should be using extra deck, go on. But for now, I feel like this deck does fine on its own. It doesn't really need it. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't explain the deck a lot better. It's a good deck, but when your opponent plays a card, you will have an answer to it. If you don't have an answer to it, you'll search for an answer. So the deck works off your opponent. Well, I believe the deck works off your opponent. Some of you may think it just beats your opponent's face, and I guess it's right. So you work off your opponent plays a monster, you play a monster to beat it. If your opponent has an effect, you play a monster with an effect to beat it. So on and so forth. I really love the deck. The deck since it came out, well, when it first came out, I thought it was kind of iffy. When we got the level 4, I thought the deck was good. And now with this support, I think the deck is really good. I don't think it can stand up to a lot of top tier decks, since you still have to search and special summon, which is tough. But you take up a lot of space in your decks for certain cards that you absolutely need. Other than that, I love the deck. Again, I'm play testing it still. If you guys have ideas, again, comment, and we always pay attention to it. So anything would help. But that's my UA deck list, and I should be back hopefully in a couple of months saying that we got our hockey players back, or we got hockey players. So thanks for watching. This is Chris signing out.